This is Tuna on Toast.
Here we go. Big day and Tuna on Toast. Got the coffee mugs ready. Paris Jackson is coming over to the place today. She's got this song. There she is. Hello, who is it? Oh, Paris. I'm not supposed to let in strangers, but I can let you in.
Hi.
I'm Ted Stryker.
I got lost.
You did? It's okay. You're not late. It's like you're 1 minute late.
I'm like
That's
3
it.
minutes late. I'm sorry.
Are you bringing anyone with you?
No, just me.
Just you?
Just me.
We have one dog.
Where
Do you want to? He's in the bedroom sleeping.
Can you join us?
Yes, he's very.
Oh, I know.
He's old. Wait, can I bring him out and show him?
Please,
Okay,
I'll hold that.
stay here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. He is the nicest, oldest man. Paris.
Oh my god. Hi.
He's 16.
This is like one of those emperor dogs. What's the breed?
Japanese chin. He's the nicest little guy. He was just asleep, but he loves his food. He loves to chase the ball still.
He's so
Good boy,
handsome.
buddy.
He's so handsome. My dog's gonna be pissed.
No.
When I come home,
Gonna
someone
smell your hand, right?
Yeah, she'll be like, oh, so you
Wait, how
went
many
out
dogs-
with someone else.
How many dogs do you have?
One and a cat.
Oh,
Dog
was it
and
dog?
cat.
Wait, does your dog have a sweater on right now?
My cat does.
Oh, your
He's
cat has
got
a sweater.
Really bad haircut.
No.
Yeah, but he looks very like darling and sophisticated because he's kind of like a brown turtleneck. It's like
Okay,
a
right.
knitted
Yeah.
Situation. Yeah.
How long have you had your two pets?
The cat, I rescued him a couple years ago.
Okay.
He's like 15, I
Oh
think.
my
And then my dog, I've had her for 6 years.
Really?
They're both rescued.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Buddy, we're gonna put you back in your bed.
Thanks for saying hi. Mister. How long have you had him?
The whole time. It was my wife's dog before I met her.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I met my wife, he was like 2, I think, or 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing I knew, I had a dog living with me and a new human.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big change. And I love them both. Buddy, I love you so much.
He's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna go put you back to sleep. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Oh God, buddy. Okay, watch your step here. This is your chair.
Hey. My good side too.
And it is okay, good.
Do you want this closed?
Yes, please. Oh my God, okay. Tom DeLonge from Blink has been here, Mike Shinoda, Chris Caraba, Bishop Briggs, Kay Flay. You are, I think, the first person that has come in and put the drink on the coaster.
Oh, really?
So A++ for you.
Thank
You can put that anywhere.
I'm just gonna put it down.
All right, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuna on Toast. My guest recently dropped a brand new song. The second I heard it, I fell in love with the track. I'm like, is there any way that she can come do the podcast? And just like that, she's sitting right next to me, Paris Jackson.
Whoa.
Thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it was just like a couple days ago, you were at the Tonys, which is a big deal, and you're on stage, and there's a zillion people watching, and now you just drove yourself to my house. Are you like, why the hell am I here?
No.
Really?
No, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Lighthouse is the reason why I got so excited. This song is so good. So, first of all, when in the world did you make this song?
I wrote it about a year ago, maybe a little like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Something like that. And then I recorded it, I want to say maybe back in December with Butch Walker. And then in the last few months, he was just like, I got Mike McCready to play on it from Pearl Jam.
Right, of
and
course.
like, it was just, everything just fell together and worked out in the last like few months.
Butch Walker, who, by the way, when he was in a band called Marvelous 3 a zillion years ago,
Marvelous 3,
I
yeah.
played them I was working on the radio then. And he is such a good producer and a good dude.
An amazing human being. Like, truly an amazing human being, yeah.
How did you guys connect?
We met through a mutual friend. I didn't realize that he was, like, a big deal as a producer, like, when we became friends and like, met. Because I wasn't really in the music industry. I discovered his personal music.
Okay.
So, like, the Stay Gold record and, like, stuff like that. And I like started just like really, really getting into his music, and then I went to go see one of his shows, and I was like, why isn't this venue bigger? He's kind of like, his fandom, I guess, kind of calls him like the best kept secret.
Right.
So I'm breaking that secret by talking about it publicly, but whatever. And then like a mutual friend introduced us, and then I was probably like 18, and we talked about doing music together for years, and then it finally worked out in the last year.
When you admire somebody musically, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you get in the same room with them to create something professionally, there are times when it can go sideways because it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Maybe they're being too authoritative. Maybe they're not listening to me. Maybe they're not, So what was it when you guys made this particular song? Like, how did you guys gel in the room together?
I've only had good experiences with the people that I've worked with, thankfully. Same with the guys from Manchester Orchestra. Like, they went from like my second favorite band behind Radiohead, and then I met them and got to know them as human beings, and I'm like, just that kindness and that love that they have just as human beings, I was like, okay, you're number one now. Like, it kind of like, it bumps them up on the totem pole, like the nicer they are and like when they're good people. And it was very easy to work with Butch. I brought these songs that were mostly written to him, and he'd rework a few things like the structure, or he'd like, for Lighthouse, he wrote the chorus. And then I just kind of like send him references of like, I kind of want this one to sound like AM 180 by Granddaddy, or I want this one to sound like Doesn't Remind Me by Audioslave, whatever it is. And then he'll be like, okay, I got the references. Like,
wow.
And then he'll just build the track. Whereas like with some other people that I've worked with, like Andy and them, like from Manchester, I'm in the studio, like watching them produce and watching them and like kind of learning. And Butch kind of has his own like space that he goes into. So he's like, okay, come back tomorrow. The song will be like built.
Whoa. Okay, so how many songs have you guys done together then? And how
Butch
is it
and
just
I,
is it just one that's out there, right? You and Butch.
It's one that is out right now. But there's a few.
Really?
Yeah.
And is the sound of the music to come similar to the song that we know of right now, Lighthouse?
All of the songs are very like 90s, but different kinds of 90s, if that makes sense. Like Lighthouse has some like Marvelous 3 and Weezer elements to it, but then there's another one that's got like kind of the Cranberries vibe to it, and then there's one that's like just fully Nirvana, you know?
Yeah.
So they're all different genres, I guess, but there's still a congruency that brings them together, and also like it's just the 90s sound, I guess.
Wilted came out in 2020,
Yeah.
and those are some great songs. As you said, you work with the dude from Manchester Orchestra, and listening to 30 seconds of one song on that album, I can feel like, oh my God, this is so authentic. This feels really, really, really good. So these new songs, same emotion, but just maybe a little heavier?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How often do you write down songs or say them into your phone? Like, how does that work for you?
It's different all the time. Sometimes it's sometimes I'll get 4 songs down in a week that are like worth keeping, and as of late, like sometimes I'll go like a month or 2, maybe 3 without writing a song, and lately I haven't like written one in the last like month or 2, but yeah, kind of just like I call them lightning strikes because I can't, or like earthquakes. I can't predict it.
Right.
I don't know.
It's not like you're going to leave here and be like, okay, at 3 o'clock, I'm going to write down verse, chorus, verse, and have something magical.
No. Yeah, that's unfortunately not how my brain works.
Paris, there's so many genres of music, and it seems like you gravitate towards like a Soundgarden, Nirvana, grunt, like stuff under the rock umbrella. You could be going in any direction. What is it about that style of music that gets you so excited?
I think I just like trying a bunch of new things. That genre specifically is something that I've been into since like freshman year of high school,
okay,
8th grade kind of deal, and so I've kind of always wanted to try that music. I just didn't know how to before, because back when I was making Wilted, my voice hadn't grown enough to the point where I could start yelling and project. And so the way it works with levels, if your voice can only go so loud, you know, you can't just like overpower it with a bunch of electric guitar. You have to be able to balance that out. And so now, like, the louder I can be, the louder my music can be. So that in the last like year has started happening, which is exciting. But at their core, all of my songs are folk. Like, if you just take all of the production out and you just have the isolated acoustic guitar and vocals, it's just a folk song.
When did you first start learning how to play an instrument?
I started guitar when I was like
When you were 13.
Yeah, but I don't consider myself a guitar player. That's the thing.
Don't say that.
No, because I'm not like, sounds like play a F major sharp 7 or whatever. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, I learned like the 10 basic chords on YouTube. I took maybe 3-4 lessons. Like, I just got really good at playing those 10 chords. And so I don't really play bar chords that often. I just learned from my last tour, like some bar chords. I really just know enough to be able to write.
Okay, but hold on a minute. I don't think people know, or maybe you guys do, if a performer is on stage, if Paris is on stage and you're singing and playing a guitar at the same time, that is not easy.
No, it's not easy, but that doesn't mean I'm a guitar player.
Okay.
I think there's a difference between being able to play guitar and being a guitar player.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I'm surrounded by a lot of guitar players, so I'm just like, I'll watch them, and they're just like, just a few tiers below Eddie Van Halen, and I'm like, I can't do that,
Lighthouse, back to that song. Mike McCready from Pearl Jam plays on it, but it was Butch Walker that reached out to him, and that's how that came to fruition?
Yeah, I think they're friends.
Okay. And then when you hear, oh my God, this dude's going to be on the song, does that frighten you, excite you? Like, what are your emotions when you find out that was happening?
Both, just because I never try and like get my hopes up too far, because it's more of like I'd be really excited and happy if he did, but I also understand if he can't, kind of thing.
Right.
So I kind of just like, I don't know, practice surrender in that way, where I'm just like, whatever happens, happens.
Right. Wait, speaking of surrender, at the festival in Boston, wait, you were on stage with Cheap Trick. What a segue that was right there.
You're good at this. You're really good at what you do.
Thank you.
That was so much fun. That day was probably one of the best days of my life.
Are you serious?
I had never played in front of a crowd that big, and my guys and I, we were the first band, or one of the first bands to go on, and by the end of our set, there was like 1,000 people, and for me, that's a lot. I wasn't sure I would like it as much as I did, because I'm so used to like the small, intimate acoustic shows at Hotel Cafe or like in Paris, and there's a beautiful intimacy that occurs there, but having a stage that large and having people like all in just synchronized head moving and head banging, I was just like, it's a different kind of excitement. It's a whole completely different other thing, and I loved it. And then, of course, I jumped on stage with the Struts.
Oh, with the Struts?
That song.
No, you
Botched
didn't.
It.
You did?
Botched it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so bad. No, the choruses were fine, but like when it came time to do the verses, I like looked at Luke, who I've been friends with
Spiller,
for years.
yes.
Yeah, I've been friends with him for years. And I told him before we went on stage, because we didn't rehearse or anything. I was like, dude, I'm going to botch your show. And he's like, it's not going to happen, babe. Don't worry about it. And I'm like on stage. There's thousands of people, maybe more. And I'm like, I'm making eye contact with Luke as I'm messing up the lyrics.
Oh, God.
So, for the rest of the night, there's that visceral cringe when you think back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then Cheap Trick was awesome. Rick gave me a couple guitar picks. I took my top off. It was a blast.
Wow. Wait, don't you think for live music, so many musicians these days, the newer ones, want to be too perfect? And sometimes a hint of imperfection is what's charming and what makes a live show great?
I believe that about other people, but I'm crazy. So I'm like, I need to be perfect. And all of my other like fellow musician friends tell me the same thing. They're like, people like that when you show like how authentic you are. And I'm just like, I get in my head about it. I actually have to take Pepto-Bismol before every show. I get an upset stomach out of anxiety, but never when I'm like presenting at an award show or like whatever interviews, things like that. It's like, it's fine. But right before I go on stage, I'm like, I need to take a Pepto. Might be TMI, but
no, it's not. But I mean, I get nervous. Like before you got here, like I get nervous and excited and a little bit of anxiety, and my bubble is 10 million times smaller than yours. But I get it every single time I do something.
yeah.
And it's like, do you think it's like we're judging ourselves, or we're worried about what others think?
I can't speak for other people. I don't know. I just know that for me, like, I try and practice like affirmations and be like, okay, I'm human, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm gonna make mistakes. But my experience so far on this planet has been like my stumbles, my little trips have been made into giant falls. Like everything's magnified, right? So like where a lot of like beginning indie artists go on their tour and they're playing in front of empty venues and they're making mistakes and they're figuring out the levels and they don't have a sound guy or the front of house dude is messing it all up. Like that's normal for artists when they're first starting and they're first touring. But for me, like that is on display.
Right.
So there isn't
It's
as much
tough.
room to make mistakes without it being turned into something more.
Right.
So, you know.
The strength that you have for all artists to go on stage and perform something that you created something from nothing. I just give you and all the artists so much credit, and then to be under the microscope that you are under. Is there a different art that you would want to put yourself in, or was it always music from when you were like 5? You're like, music, I want to be music, I want to be on stage, I want to do this?
I think I suppressed the music thing for a while and was just like, it's just a hobby, you know, out of like fear. But just the other day I was thinking about it. I'm like, there's a home video of me fully like saying as a kid that I want to sing and dance. And so I'm like, wow, like even back then I wanted to do this. But I love all forms of art. I paint, you know, when I can. I usually don't show a lot of people. Every now and then I'll put something on the internet, but I kind of just paint for myself for the meditative state it puts me in. I love fashion. I believe that is a form of art.
Absolutely.
And yeah, pretty much anything artistic, you know. I've been known to act in some things here and there, and that's fun.
Has there anyone that's been in your ear with advice that may not be the best advice, something like, listen, why don't you just go down a stereotypical pop route and we can do this? And has anyone tried to put that in your ear?
All of them.
They do.
All
Oh my God.
All of them except for my like my bandmates and like my rock and roll buddies, like all of like my punk rock friends, and like, they're like, no, it's punk rock, do what you want to do, you know what I mean? But like a lot of my songs have pop elements in them. It just, I personally don't feel authentic to who I am jumping on stage in like an all glitter outfit. That doesn't work for myself.
Right.
So I'd rather just, normally I wear just like oversized clothes and like scream, because that feels good. But I mean, I'll probably, I did a pop song with Luke, you know, it's like pop rock.
Right.
You know,
But to me, like Smells Like Teen Spirit is one of the best pop songs ever.
There are a lot of pop elements in it.
Right.
Most of Nirvana songs have a lot of pop elements
Absolutely.
in it.
Just because something is a little heavier doesn't mean it doesn't have a pop element, right? Like if you can hum along to it, you can sing along to it. Hey, that's a pop song to me.
Chorus for Lighthouse is super poppy.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I love how you kind of extend some of your words when you're singing. That's like, you don't rush your lyrics when you're singing in this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this song lyrically is something that I'm like very proud of. It was very heavily influenced by bands like Bright Eyes in Manchester, and like just they're poets like Conor Oberst and Andy Hall, I believe, are poets.
Totally.
And Bob Dylan's of our generation. So I just like, I want to put emphasis. I'm very proud of the lyrics in this song, so I try and put a little bit more emphasis on it.
I haven't seen you play live in person. Who's on stage with you? How many people? How does it work?
It's me and 3 other dudes.
Okay.
Normally it's my friend Michael O'Grady on guitar, Nick Diorio on bass, and Anthony Nino Salazar on drums. But the last couple shows, we've had Ryan Rice with us as a drummer, because Nino is on tour with Teenage Wrist, which is the other band that he's in. So, but yeah, they're all really, really great guys, and they're all like at least like 8 to 10 years older than me, and they've been doing this for a long time. So they're kind of like big brothers in that way, and they're like, this is what you're gonna do, and this is how you're gonna do it, and don't worry, we got you. Like if you get freaked out on stage, just look over at us, and we'll, you know, and it happens all the time. I'll like freak out and I'll look at like my bassist and be like, dude, you got this. You know, it's really cute. We've got a little family thing going on.
And that's what you want in a friend and bandmates.
It's actually all I've ever wanted. I remember many times on the tour opening for Patrick Droney, I'd like look around and we'd all be like, I don't know, listening to like Gideon or Meg Sugar and like death metal bands and being like, and like laughing and telling stupid jokes that don't make any sense, and me just being like, oh, this is family and community, and this is everything I've always wanted.
Oh.
You know?
How did you find your music when you were a kid? Was it the radio? Did you have tapes, CDs, vinyl in your house?
Mostly CDs and like little iPods and things like that. yeah, I was exposed to so much music as a kid. My brothers and I grew up listening to, Sinatra stuff and, classic R&B and soul, classical music like Tchaikovsky and Debussy and Mozart and things like that. And really everything, like old school rap. We grew up listening to Dre and Snoop.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just started discovering my own music that I like held as my own, like 80s heavy metal and things like that.
80s heavy metal.
Oh yeah,
Wait, who?
I've got like a couple Motley Crue tattoos.
Are you serious?
I've seen them a few times.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah, they were one of my first. I saw them in play when I was 16 in like Salt Lake City with Alice Cooper, which was awesome. I saw them play when I was 14 with Kiss.
Oh my God.
Actually, that's how I discovered the Struts.
Because they were opening for one of those bands?
It was New Year's Eve night, Staples Center. It was Motley's final show as a band because they had never done the breakup reunion tour thing yet. And they had the Struts open for them. And I was just like, who are these guys? Like, just blown away by Luke's performance and talent. And then we became friends not that long after.
Yeah, give the Struts some more love here. I remember seeing them play live years ago. And at that time, I don't know what my headspace was, but I was thinking, I need someone on stage that doesn't look like me or act like me and is like a super duper rock star. I'm like, oh, here's the Struts. There they are. They're right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they're fantastic. But yeah, I started discovering like stuff that I liked, like 90s grunge and 80s heavy metal and classic 60s and 70s soft rock, James Taylor, Simon and Garfunkel, things like that when I was
amazing songwriters.
Yeah. So I was probably like junior high, and that was the internet, YouTube,
right.
Spotify was a thing back then, and still, and Apple Music, stuff like that.
Or what is success for you?
In what way?
Professionally.
Professionally, so are we talking fashion? Are we talking music?
Let's go with the music aspect of it.
Music, to me, success musically is, I've kind of already done it. Like I've had sit downs with fans where I've like gone out to Paris and like I played a show and a lot of them like sang the lyrics back to me, which was very nice and it's so flattering. And I'm like, I want to cry. That's amazing. That's something that all musicians like low key like. But the real joy and success was like actually meeting with some of them personally and like having actual conversations, like not just, hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet you. Like we really like got into it. And some of them remind me a lot of myself when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. And the way Radiohead has made me feel when I was like down in the dumps and like not doing too hot. A lot of these people that I've met, like they've kind of described my music doing that for them. That's success to me. And also like being able to meet some of my heroes and then be like, oh yeah, we see you as an artist, Yeah,
good for you. I'm sorry you've been in some places mentally that were so terrible, but at the same time, the music, like Radiohead, sounds like really, really helped you. Mm-hmm. Is there an album? Is it the Bends? Is it OK Computer?
It's
the Bends.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
1,000% the Bends.
Here we go, Paris.
1,000%.
Here we go.
OK Computer's a close second.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is it front to start, or is there a song that you just hit on repeat that makes you feel?
Most of them I hit on repeat. Most of them. But I mean, I've got lyrics from Black Star and Nice Dream tattooed on me.
You do? Okay.
Bulletproof I Wish I Was is a big one for me as well. And then, of course, like the classics that did super well, like Fake Plastic Trees and High and Dry. Fantastic. Right. But, yeah, I mean, my song Adagio, we'll move on to OK Computer, Adagio that I did with Manchester Orchestra is like if you play it right after playing exit music for a film, you're like, oh, I see what they did there. It's very, very similar.
Have you had any meetings, texts, anything with any of the dudes? Like, if you go to your Twitter, there's two of the guys mentioned.
I'm terrified
your Twitter. You
to
are?
do that, yeah. I'm scared to do that.
Well, guess who's coming through the door? No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my God, that's not funny. I had to take a Pepto before I walked in here. You can't mess around like that. Yeah, no, I'm too scared to meet them. I'm a massive like Tom York fan, and like I talk about him on my social media all the time. But I'm too scared to, I kind of like part of me like doesn't want him to know that I exist or like to hear my music, because if he ever were to say something negative about it, I'm like, well, I quit.
Right.
So.
Oh, well, hopefully, if he did hear it, he wouldn't say anything bad about it. And even if he did, hopefully you wouldn't let that knock you too far down emotionally.
He really is one of my biggest influences. You can't, if you're familiar with Tom York's solo stuff,
yes.
or like Atoms for Peace, or like anything, and also the stuff with Radiohead, if you're familiar with it, you cannot hear it in my music. It's so like in your face, you know?
Who first told you about Radiohead? Who said, hey, Paris, listen to this?
I think one of my favorite parts about it was I mainly discovered them on my own. Like, I had known the big hits that play on the radio and things like that, High and Dry, Karma Police, Creep. But, like, I only had, like, a few friends mention it in passing all in 1 week. Like, friends that didn't know each other. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to actually, like, dive in. And I dove in to their discography, like, on my own. And that was, like, that's kind of special. Being able to find a band on your own and not have like, you know, a cute boy that you like. Like Motley Crue was shown to me by like my first love in junior high. So that's not really my band. Radiohead is.
So have you gone on a date with anybody and it's going well and you say to the person, hey, let's check out this Radiohead?
That's usually one of the first questions I ask anybody, you know, romantic interest, friend, whatever.
Yeah.
Even like a couple, because I got a cousin into, I was hanging out with one of my cousins last week or a week and a half ago, and I got her into, we were driving my car going to visit our other cousin, and I was like, close your eyes and lean the seat back, and I played exit music for a film. And then I got home after dropping her off. I was like, text me when you get home. And then she does, and then she texts me. She's like, hey, send me that Radiohead song. And I'm like, oh, yes, there it is. I did it.
That's feels a win good. For me, yeah. Yes. I mean, nothing feels better when you give a recommendation, whether it's music or movies or something, or maybe like, hey, go to this location on a vacation. And they're like, hey, it was one of the best things I've ever experienced. Yep. The validation is amazing. Do you feel like that you have to not work harder than other people, but have a different kind of pressure to prove yourself to anyone coming to see your show or listening for the very first time? Because there's someone watching this who's like, whoa, Paris Jackson has music. I want to go check it out. Do you feel like it's a different sort of pressure, or you don't even worry about that stuff?
It depends on the day.
Really?
It depends on the day. Yeah. Some days I really couldn't care less because I'm doing it because it makes me happy. I don't see music as a job. You know, that's not like my occupation. Like on paper, my occupation is like fashion model.
Yes.
Music is like, I believe, who I am. So I really am like just doing it because I love it, not necessarily for golden statues or you know, setting records and things like that.
Right.
It'd be cool, but that's not like the main go. Yeah, and then other days I get like super in my head about it.
But Lighthouse, I'm telling you, I can't wait for people to listen to I mean, it's been out there for a minute, but all the songs that are going to come with it. Is there a plan as we sit here today of an official, hey, we're going to play some clubs around the U.S.? I think I saw something in New York you may be doing.
Yeah, I'm playing the Mercury Lounge
nice.
in like a week. I don't know what today is, but we're playing the 22nd.
Okay. Any other shows after that?
I want to go on tour.
You do?
I want to, yeah. I've told my managers, I've told my label, I've told my booking agent, I'm like, guys, get me on another tour, please. Like, I love it.
Okay, let's throw it out to the universe.
I've been throwing it out to the universe.
Well, you could go play clubs like, decent-sized clubs all around, or if there a band you would like to be on tour with and open for?
Manchester.
But
they know that.
Right,
they know that. And they're like, I got to put my hours in. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they're very supportive. They had me open their festival back in November because they did like a 5-band festival that they do. It's like a fundraiser thing, the Stuffing in Georgia every November. And last year they asked me to play it. So it's a good start. But I need to put my hours in before I'm opening up for a band like that.
So you got Butch Walker. The vibe is happening. Are there other musicians or producers that you hear their work or see how they conduct themselves that gets you excited that you would maybe want to do something with?
Yeah, I mean, Bright Eyes, Conor Oberst, Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. I'm not sure if they're still making music, but I love them to death. Cage the Elephant's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I mean, Dave Grohl, who doesn't love Dave Grohl, though?
Right, yeah.
He's like the most likable man on earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I have a long list.
So you've mentioned the acting and you've mentioned fashion. Obviously, I'm so stoked about the music. But when it comes to fashion, like, is it just You're going to continue to model? Are you designing clothes? Like I don't know too much about that with you.
Yeah, keep modeling, keep doing the hopefully the more runway and editorials and campaigns and things like that. I think it's a little soon for me to be designing, but it's something that I have interest in.
Wow. So everything in the creative umbrella, you're totally attacking.
Yeah. Well, the left side of my brain is relatively non-functioning, so I really have to make the right side count.
You met my dog a few minutes ago, and I saw you post about your animals. Like you have a cat and a dog. How old's the cat?
Somewhere between 10 and 15.
Wow.
That's what they tell me.
And then I saw a picture of one of your animals that had a sweater on. Was that the dog?
That's the cat.
Okay, that's the cat has a little sweater on.
That's Frodo.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a really bad haircut. So, I don't want him to be cold. I keep my home pretty cold, so I got him a sweater.
Paris, people were making fun of me because my dog was very old. I push him, I walk him for like 50 yards, and then he's had enough. But he enjoys being outside, so I put him in a stroller, like a human. I don't have kids or anything.
It's very LA of you.
And I walk. I don't want you to say
There's
it's very LA.
wrong with
There's
that.
not.
There's nothing wrong with it.
The little guy
My
wants
cat
to
wears
see.
a sweater. You're fine, man. Like,
Okay,
you're good.
so everyone making fun of me for pushing the little guy around in the stroller, I should just say it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. What other people think about you is none of your business anyways.
Okay.
That's what I try and remind myself of.
Are you streaming any TV shows right now? Are you watching any movies? Do you like stream?
Watch TV that much.
Okay.
If I am going to watch TV, it's either on a plane because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
Or I'll watch like horror movies with like my best friend here and there. But I have yet to find a horror movie that I actually really, really enjoy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I found one that I really like. I love all the Blumhouse projects. Like, I love the Sinister films and Insidious and the Conjuring
Yes.
films. But, like, I don't know. The last, like, several horror movies that I watched, it doesn't scare me or it's just kind of boring. Like,
Right.
I didn't really love the It films. I like getting scared. So if it doesn't scare me, then it's kind of, I don't know. I like gore, though.
You do?
It had some really good gore, and I appreciate the special effects a lot. Hostel's one of my favorite films, so anything in that realm, I'm like,
God, it's
yeah. So I'll watch some horror movies just for the gore, and then I watch other ones just to get scared. So if I could find the perfect one that's got both,
Yes.
then, like, you know,
if I'm ever at a movie theater and you're there, I'm the guy at a scary movie that goes like this. I get so scared, Paris.
I scare all of my friends.
You do?
Yeah.
How do you scare
Most
them?
of them, well, I'll just like hide in around the corner. Like, I scared my old roommate all the time. I like got masks. I got like little critters, like a remote control rat. You know, like I just like messing with people. And they try and do it back, but the only person that's ever really been able to properly scare me
Yes.
is my brother. All of my other friends have tried to like hide. and,
Which
like,
brother,
scare me.
Prince?
Prince, yeah.
What did he do to
I
scare
don't know.
you?
Well, we were kind of raised like twins. Like,
Okay.
we're so close in age, and we grew up like with the same teacher, like going through each grade, like being like just treated like twins. So I think we have a little bit of telepathy there. And for some reason, he just always knows when the right time is to scare me. He's the only person that can do it. It's like my best friends have tried, other family members have tried. They can't. I don't really react.
So it's a challenge for me in our next 10 minutes hanging out to somehow really frighten you. I don't think I could do it. No, I don't think I could do it. When you were at the Tony Awards on stage with your brother, who, by the way, how eloquent is your brother? My God.
Yeah, I'm pretty amazed at all three of my brothers. They're really, really remarkable young men. I've met some people who, like, their brothers are kind of like pricks, and I'm just like, how did I get so lucky? You know, these young men that are just big hearts, very well spoken, and very smart. Yeah,
Right.
I always love sharing the stage with my brother too, because he's like a lot better at public speaking than me.
Oh.
So, you know, he kind of just like, you do your thing, I'll just stand here and support you and smile and wave, you know?
It was a good yin yang on stage, though. You
We
can't have
actually-
two people exactly. What's that?
We have yin and yang tattoos.
Do you
That's
really?
our matching
Are you
tattoos.
serious?
Yeah, he's the yin to my yang. And
Oh,
vice versa.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we really balance each other out.
Do you ever play your music for him? Does he give you like, hey, I like it? Does he give...
He's one of my biggest supporters. He actually likes it. Like, he actually likes my music, and he would tell me if he didn't, so I can trust him. And some of my songs he told me has like gotten stuck in his head. He's just like, you should drop it so I can like add it to my playlists.
Aww.
And my little brother too, I wrote a song for him like last year and I sent it to him like a couple weeks ago.
Is that the song that's been released or no? No.
Not out. I don't know if I'll ever put it out. It's kind of just for him.
And he liked it?
I think so.
That has to feel so good to be on the receiving end if this particular song is about you. Mm-hmm. I hope he really appreciates that.
Unless the song sucks, then it's like I've had some songs written about me where I'm just like,
no.
Oh yeah, because I'm very bad at lying, so I just try not to.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to tell people that I'm not a fan of their music without being mean. Like it's just, it's kind of like you go to a restaurant and there's like a really, well-cooked meal. You just don't necessarily like the taste of it. That doesn't mean that it's like, oh, screw the chef. It's just like, I respect you and I respect all the work you put into it. It just doesn't hit my taste buds quite right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've learned how to kind of, yeah, it's not really like the genre I listen to, but,
But songs being written about you, that means you had to have some sort of emotional / positive impact on the person writing.
Or the opposite.
Or the
opposite.
The negative impact. Oh my God.
Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
Wow. When you are on stage at the Tonys and you're with your brother, you're worrying about your present. One would worry about, I got to present myself. I have to be in the outfit. I have this. I have lines I have to give. I'm with my brother. I have to stand straight and all that stuff. But at the same time, your dad is on your mind. So, like, how difficult is that to go out and do that? I would think.
Specifically at the Tonys?
Yeah.
I honestly, all I was thinking about was like making sure I didn't stumble on the teleprompter. Usually, like when I'm in a work mode and I'm trying to be professional, that's kind of all I'm focused on is like doing the job right and playing my part.
Right. Well, listen, this is the first time we met. I know you from the music, specifically the song. I went back and listened to your album from 2020. And I'm so pumped for all the music that you're going to put out. Like, I'm an instant fan.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks for coming by my house. Thanks for coming over and hanging with me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. All right. That is Paris Jackson. Please go investigate all of her music. And when she does a show with her band, go see him play. For Paris, I'm Stryker. It's been Tuna on Toast. Happy snuggles. Bye-bye. Jeez, no, Paris! Paris, I tried!
I know. It's not that I'm unwilling. I love being scared.
Did you know I was right there?
No, it just doesn't work. I would love nothing more than for it to work. It just doesn't.
I tried.
It did. It was a valiant effort.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. Now hit that subscribe button. And for more Tuna on Toast, listen wherever you get your podcasts.